this episode of the Coopers Couch, we're at Denison in the McAllister Irrigation District in Victoria's Gippsland. Dairy Central, if you like. And joining me is local vet Steph Bullen. Welcome, Steph.
Thank you.
How the season been for the dairy farmers in this neck of the woods?
Yeah, it's been a pretty tough season. So we've had one of the driest winters on record, and we're really struggling with feed shortages, as is much of the country at the moment.
Yeah, what sort of challenges does that throw out animal health-wise?
Whenever you have any deficiencies in terms of energy or protein, that has negative impacts on our immune function, particularly with our young stock relating to worms. As soon as we start to see shortages of those major nutrients, our immune system starts to suffer and we start running into more problems with things like worms.
What's the current best practice thinking on worm control?
In order to get the best control for worms, we need to take into consideration getting the best out of our animals in terms of the control of worms and getting them to grow and milk as well as possible, but also balancing that with managing drench resistance and the sustainability of those chemicals going forward.
You actually made a particular study of the issue of drenches, the effectiveness and all the issues surrounding them, didn't you?
I did, yeah. So my master's research was looking at drench resistance, and what we found, the most important worm in dairy cattle across our temperate regions is Osteotargia, or the small brown stomach worm. And what we found in my master's research was that 1 in 3 farms have got resistance to the common, the most recently developed drenches, the Mectin group, typically considered the best on the market, the most recently released. And around 80% of farms have got resistance to the older classes, such as the white drenches.
What do you say to dairy farmers who are interested in using a product like Coopers Trifecta Triple Active Drench?
Yeah, so if I can be completely honest, if a dairy farmer was to come into me and say, and it was a pretty common question, Steph, what's the best drench I can buy? My answer would be a triple active product, because we're not only addressing any issues if there is resistance present on that farm, but we're also slowing the development of resistance. So a combination, the more ingredients the better, or the more actives the better. A short acting drench, so we're not exposing those parasites to a prolonged period of drench. And the third thing is an oral drench. So there's been some research that came out of New Zealand that compared the exact same active ingredient given orally, via injection and via a pour-on, and that consistently showed that the drench given by the oral route reduced the egg count of the animals after treatment better than either the pour-on or injection. So we want a combination product, the more actives the better, a short acting product and an oral product, and the only product on the market that meets those 3 criteria is Coopers Trifecta.
Pretty good tip. Thanks for having us here, Steph. Thank you for joining us as well here on the Coopers Couch. We'll see you next time.